Imagine standing perfectly still while the world blurs past you in a frantic, repetitive loop. This captures the daily experience of the unactivated human, waking, consuming, working, and dying, feeling trapped in a cycle that seems as inescapable as it is chaotic. The source text identifies this condition as the 1572 state. It is a mode of wandering where the human remains functionally suspended in sleep, running a default program while the heart remains unanchored. This sense of exhaustion stems from a specific structural reality. You are carrying a massive, unrecognized weight, but you lack the internal instructions to process it. Verse 3372 describes a cosmic event where the heavens, the earth, and the mountains were offered a trust, the Amanah. They looked at its scale and recoiled, terrified of the weight. The human heart accepted what the mountains could not. Within the dark tissue of our existence, the Amanah resides as a latent, highly condensed seed of light. Verse 255 describes the kursi, the throne, as a reality that encompasses the heavens and the earth, maintained by a self-sustaining stability. By housing the Amanah, the human heart functions as the unique vessel built to mirror that infinite stability. Much like a seed buried in the earth, the heart remains in the dark until it begins to grow. It stays dormant in the soil of the material world, awaiting a specific mathematical sequence to initiate its transition from a buried seed to a rising tree. In nature, every system follows a sequence: a split, a period of pressure, a choice, and a resolution. The Quran encodes this as 2-3-2-7. This equation provides the structural blueprint of the universe, and it looks remarkably like the anatomy of a growing tree. We begin with the first two, the root phase. Here, the universe is dual-caustic, meaning every interaction splits into two absolute polarities. You are either pulling deeper into attachment to the illusion, or alternatively, you are seeking the exit toward the light. The archetype of Adam's tree illustrates this descent. Faced with a choice of duality, his decision to eat led to intoxication and attachment. This pushed the seed down into the dark roots of worldly existence. This transition into the material world acts as the mandatory planting phase. It provides the dark, dense environment required for the system to boot up its execution. The 3 in our sequence represents the trunk, the traversal phase. This is the stage of mechanical oscillation, the relentless movement of worldly time. The buried seed now feels the crushing atmospheric pressure of the material world, or the dunya. It experiences the endless cycle of day and night, each rotation pushing against the heart's casing. Navigating this pressure provides the friction to initiate growth. It forces the seed to push upward, using the weight of the world to generate the strength to overcome it. Under extreme pressure, the trunk eventually reaches a second choice point. This is the second 2 in the equation, the branching phase. Verse 1923 describes Maryam at the base of her own tree. She is in a state of ultimate compression, isolated, in pain, and surrounded by the fire of public accusation. By gripping the palm trunk and surrendering her will, Maryam triggers a system inversion. Fresh states fall and water flows from beneath her, as detailed in verse 1924. The path of surrender provides nourishment where the world saw only a dead end. This choice inverts the entire root system. It creates a thriving branch and demonstrates that the individual can successfully bypass the constraints of the material illusion. The sequence resolves at the number 7. At the very top of the vector tree, a symmetrical 7-pointed fruit blooms. This fruit represents a state of stabilized realization. This is the Mersalin state mentioned in verse 36:3. Individuals who have successfully traversed the illusion and established their connection to the source. To achieve this growth, the heart requires a catalyst. The Quran functions as the execution manual for this topology, providing the instructions necessary to navigate the 2-3-2-7 sequence. The ignition switch for this entire system is found in verse 1912. The command is precise: take the book with strength. Implementing this command shifts the human heart from a passive observer to an active operator. You begin executing the physics of the universe rather than just watching its chaos. The Amanah resides within you as compressed light, waiting for the correct spiritual traversal to ignite it. Every moment spent in the 1572 sleep state is a choice. The 1912 activation is now available to any heart ready to take the book and execute.